So today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is pooping. Woo! Yeah, pooping. One of the most important things in life. And is it actually pooping? Or is it just releasing digested food instead of shitting or crapping or however you want to call it, which isn't really fair to what we're really actually doing when we're giving back digested food to the world. Because if you really look at it, what our body needs to release there, it's not shit, it's not waste, it's not anything that needs to go away, that is bad. It's actually the opposite. It's the very element, the very building stone that nature needs again to grow and to close the cycle, which is the cycle of us eating food from nature. And all of this food needs nutrients to grow, right? So we're eating that and digesting it and then releasing everything we don't need. And then usually how the animals and the normal world works, we give it back again to nature, right? As fertilizer for the ground, for the nutrients to go back into the cycle, to close the cycle and to be endless, to be a sustainable endless cycle, how nature basically works. But we humans, we somehow managed to stop that cycle. How many people in the world are using a toilet is completely insane if you think about it in a different way. Because we're using so much drinking water that to flush down whatever we put in there. And this drinking water first has to be purified, has to be transported. A lot of pipes have to be built, electricity, pumps, you can imagine it. And then we're flushing it away in a normal water toilet in a house. And then again, we need a lot of pipes to transport all this wastewater to the wastewater treatment plant. And once it arrives there, it's mixed up with so many microplastics from some washing detergents and hormones and medical residues in our urine and I don't know what. So they try to clean this water that reaches there with a lot of chemical effort, with a lot of energy that is needed to clean this water somehow, to somehow fulfill the regulations, to somehow lead it back into the river. And everything that is not liquid and is kind of a leftover is basically a waste product already, because it's so mixed, because it's sometimes even poisonous, because it has many things inside which are not natural anymore. So what they do, at least sometimes in these treatment plants, they have to ship it away in trucks, and then sometimes they burn it in concrete factories, or somehow they try to get rid of it, but it's not really a good use anymore for it. And apart from all this crazy amount of resources that is being used just to get rid of something which is actually not trash, which is actually valuable, the crazy thing is that we're completely destroying the cycle of nature at this point. And for every living organism like the earth, it's really important to stay in an endless cycle, like nature works, like nature is healthy, like we are healthy. So we are cutting off the cycle and we think this is a good idea. But maybe we should think about that. And this toilet right here could solve this problem. It's ideal for a camper van, but also for houses. This toilet doesn't need any water to flush. You can build it yourself. You can build it basically anywhere you want to have it. You don't need a wastewater pipe, nothing, because this is a dry separating composting toilet, which is completely odorless in a closed state. Always when people enter my van and for the first time looking at my van, I always ask them, do you smell anything? Do you smell anything bad? And they always say no. So it's really completely odorless in the closed state. If you open it and it's hot outside and it's summertime, there's a little bit of smell. But it's not like a bad kind of, it's a very subtle smell of fermentation or something. Once you use the toilet, you close it again and it's gone after 2 minutes or something. You cannot even smell it anymore. So there are many reasons why I'm so passionate about this toilet, but especially for a van, it's amazing because you're completely independent. You're not using any chemical products, you're not using any water that you have very limited of in a camper. And you can use everything that is collected in there for a good cause. So you can build these toilets really nice and cozy and beautiful, however you want to design them. And there's nothing scary about it. It's a normal toilet lid, like at home, like in a normal house. And there's nothing scary about it if you look inside here. I think many people who never used such a toilet are scared of using it, but the thing is, you're sitting on it exactly the same like you would on a normal toilet, just doing your thing, and it works because of this separator here, which separates in the front the urine like a funnel into the urine container, and in the back the digested food drops in. And also the toilet paper goes all the way here. And as you can see, I can see no shit because the toilet paper covers it all. The toilet paper sucks up the excess moisture. I don't need anything else to do that. And yeah, this is it. It's very simple. And you can build it yourself very easily and make it in the color you want, make it out of wood, out of whatever material you want to do it. So there are mainly 3 reasons why this has almost no odor, which is number 1, the whole box is built pretty airtight. That means just the air that is inside here doesn't flow into my room. And also here there's a sealant that covers all the air gaps of the toilet seat, so the air cannot just move out here. And also flies cannot enter, which is really important because the flies, they may lay eggs here, which you don't want. And there's a ventilator, a 12-volt ventilator, very small one, about 4 centimeters diameter, which I have on 24/7, which takes half a watt, basically no electricity, and which constantly is sucking the air out of this chamber to the outside of the van and outside of the van. And this is the most important thing, to have an odorless dry composting toilet in your vehicle, because this ventilator really just sucks out the air. The air carries the odor. And I will show you how I empty the toilet and how it's built up. It's really simple. I take away this cushion here, and then I take away the lid. It's just put on there, and like that I can see here in the back the bucket that carries all the digested food, and it's just laid out with some cardboard so the bucket doesn't get dirty and I don't need to wash it, which is really nice. And I can just throw all of this on my separate compost, where I will compost all of this for 2 years. After 2 years it's completely safe from any pathogens, and you will have very nice humus, very nice earth to fertilize some fields. And then here in the front we have the urine container, which is almost overflowing right now, which I really need to empty right now. And here in the back you can see the constant ventilator that is ventilating out the air to the outside of the car, which I can also turn off here in case somebody has very good ears, but it's very silent. You almost cannot hear it. So right here in the back of my van you can see the air outlet from the toilet, where I put a stainless steel cover to protect it from the water, so the air can go out but the rain cannot enter. And there's also very fine mesh inside here, so that no insects can go inside of here, which is also nice because they feel attracted to the digested food to make babies. So better have that in there. So on this land that I'm able to stay right now with my van, I have in the very far away corner of the land a separate compost just for my digested food. Very special place, very nice. And yeah, very valuable for the future, this earth. And I just dump it here, as easy as that. Boom. But like that, the bucket is dry and not dirty. And I can use it, put new cardboard inside and go have fun in the toilet again. And if for some reason I'm moving around and not here on the land, then sometimes I'm coming by some friends that also have dry composting toilets where I can empty my toilet in. Or the great thing is, if I have nowhere to put it, I just go into the forest with my spade, I dig a big hole, I dump the bucket, put put the earth back on top, and like that it's no problem for the earth. It's the opposite. The trees get fertilized by that, and yeah, I can continue with an empty toilet and have no chemical footprint on the earth. And I have to say now, after using this toilet for about 2 years, I really got so used to this toilet that I really don't like going on water toilets, on regular toilets, because of the water splashing up sometimes and because it feels colder and it's strange. So yeah, I really love this toilet, and I think many people would do. So what this lovely urine actually is a super liquid bio fertilizer, which you just cannot buy anywhere, and it's so valuable. It would be a shame to just paying for having it put away. Crazy. So in there's a lot of potassium, magnesium, phosphorus and nitrogen, all things that plants really need and want to grow and to bear great fruits. And right now, when I'm on this land, I'm diluting it with 10 parts of water and 1 part of urine, and then I'm fertilizing the, for example, freshly planted apple tree here. And I do that because if you put pure super liquid fertilizer like this on some plants, it's actually too many nutrients for them, so it can be bad again. So you should always try to dilute it. Most plants like it around 1 to 10 with water. Making one tree happy at a day. So when I'm on a trip and I have no place to use the liquid gold, then I will go again to a forest or like a empty piece of grassland that no one is on usually, and I will just empty it there, and not only on one place, but I will distribute it a little bit so that it's not too much for the plants. This liquid is actually, if you think about it, so valuable that me and some friends once had this crazy idea of building like a movable public toilet, very nicely built out of wood, with a dry composting toilet inside. And then instead of charging the people to go on the toilet, like in many cities and festivals you have to pay for it, you would actually get €1 for each time you use the toilet, to give the people a little bit of a sense that the things they put out of their body are actually valuable and not waste. We didn't do that yet, but maybe one day we do that. It would be so funny, I think. And yeah, it's liquid gold here. My liquid gold.